Okay, this is a little bit ridiculous. Inter have offered me a job interview. I couldn't. Could I? Final season? I couldn't. Would a proposed transfer budget of 112 million be enough? Do you know what? I think it would be. Oh, I've got a decision to make here. Okay, I've got an idea. If we get offered the Inter job, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to create a separate save. We're going to carry on with Parma. And then we're going to do a one-season postscript at Inter. We're just going to spend all of the money and see what we can do. Because we've got enough time left in the transfer window to get players in if we get to Inter. Oh, my word. This is insane. What in the blue hell is going on? Juventus have now offered us a job interview. Oh, might have to make a decision on which club we go for. Oh my word. Oh my word. £197 million is what they're offering for their transfer budget. Yeah, that'd do. Yeah, I think I can make that work. So the problem now is, if we get offered both of those jobs, which one do we pick? And I'm the favourite for this as well, apparently. Inter have approached me. I'm going to save the game here, and we are going to do the split. The problem is, as well, Juventus have requested backroom changes, so I'm going to save here. Just to confirm as well, we have got the choice that we need to make for that side season. Juventus have offered us a contract as well. It's a ridiculous amount of money, and we delayed the Inter deal as well. So I've already saved this. We have already got this ready in the bank. So when we finish this season, I'm making the decision now. I have got a save idea already, but we're going to do one shot of a season at either Juventus or Inter. I haven't decided which one yet, but it's going to be one of them. So I just wanted to let you know, we've got both offers. It's going to be a tricky one, isn't it? That's something to think about for the entire season. Which one do we pick? Might see which one does the worst at the end of the season and pick that one. I haven't decided yet. I'll level with you. I went with the one with the higher transfer budget. Hello there and welcome to Stubo FM. I'm Stubo. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we are going to be making a bit of a decision on what we're going to do in this alternate universe of Season 5. For those of you who don't know, well, you should know because it was in the intro, but this series is going to basically be a what-if version of Season 5 of Let's Go Parma. So if you've not watched Let's Go Parma up until this point, I would recommend you go back and watch it. There's going to be a playlist up in that corner, so you can click on that now, and you can go and have a look at what this save has been all about. It's called Let's Go Parma. That probably gives you a hint as to what it's all about anyway. But at the start of this season, as you've just seen, we did get two very interesting job opportunities. One of them was from Inter Milan and the other one was from Juventus. But I'll be completely honest with you guys, there is only one team that I want to take over, and that is the one with the bigger transfer budget. I'm not going to lie, it comes down to that. I've had a look at the squads. The squads are very similar, and I genuinely do think when I'm looking at this Juventus team, there's a lot of quality in there, but there's also a lot of players we could move on as well. And I'll be honest with you guys, there's a lot of value in this team we could move on. They've got some quality players. They've not got too many old men as well. The ones that they have got, we could move on quite easily. There's a lot of value in this team we could add to as well. So that 190, whatever it is, £1 million could easily become more than that. So I think it has to be Juventus. I mean, Inter Milan, I keep wanting to call it. I've recorded this video 3 times because I keep saying AC Milan instead of Inter. Inter did offer a very good amount. I mean, the amount of money they were offering was very good in terms of transfer budget and wage budget, but I think we just do it, shall we? Let's start negotiations. So they want to offer us £62,000 a week and a bonus for winning the Champions League. Well, we're not necessarily worried about the Champions League because this is about winning Serie A in one season. Although if we can do good in that, we'll do well. In terms of what they want us to do, want us to sign players based in Italy, entertaining football, high reputation players, and youth system players as well. 5-year plan, which we're not too worried about, is maintaining us being excellent, and they want us to grow things and all that kind of stuff. We're just going to finalise it. We are going to take charge of Juventus in this Earth 2 version of Season 5 of Let's Go Parma, and I'm very interested to see how we do. But here we are. We have moved across from Parma to Juventus. We've done a Buffon is what we've done. We've done a Buffon. It's going to be very interesting to see how we do at this club. So there is the welcome message. Obviously, it mentions that we rejected the offer from Inter. It'll be interesting to see how we get received by the Parma fans when we end up going back there. But we are at a club which is known for success, and that is their current strongest 11. And what an 11 it is. Nubel I'm not overly familiar with. But they've got McKennie, they've got Luke Shaw as a centre-back, so we know where we need to strengthen straight away. Tsimikas, Locatelli, Fabian, Chiesa, Dybala, Zaccagni I'm not too familiar with as well, but Dusan Vlahovic is obviously a fantastic player. And someone called Nicola Fagioli over at Parma. What's he ever done? But we know that this is going to be a... check it out every month. We know that this is going to be a challenge. We know that this is going to be not easy, because we know it's not been easy to win the league with Parma, but we're coming into this with a fresh squad of players that we've not seen before. As you can see, we've got some absolute world-class talent who are on some big money as well. Fabian, Vlahovic, Locatelli, Chiesa, Gabriel Jesus, Paulo Dybala, Zapata, Weston McKennie, Bourneau. We've got some really good players, and even below them, the likes of Rabiot, Tsimikas, Zaccagni. We've got Luke Shaw in here randomly. We've got Perrin. There's a lot of players who are very, very good, but a lot of players we can move on for some decent value as well. So that is something I'm going to be looking to do first of all, and then we need to think of how we're going to be playing as well. So I am going to go away. I'm going to have a look at the team that we've got. I'm going to work out what we need, what we don't need, and then I'll come back when I've got a plan in terms of transfers and tactics. In fact, before we do any of that, there's one more thing I need to do. So without any further ado, there we go. Much better. So part of the way through the transfer window, I decided instead of coming back to you with different things, I thought what I would do is instead I'd just do all the transfers and I'd come back to you and show you them all. I can't speak. I'm so excited to show you. You can see them all on the screen right now, and you can see the amount of money that we've spent. £500 million. Now, in my defence with that, we did need a lot of work on this squad. When we arrived here, attack was okay, midfield was okay, the defence was shocking, and goalkeeping situation wasn't particularly good. The defence situation in particular, we had 3 defenders at the club. Just the 3, 2 of them were left-backs. Not a right back to be seen, and only the 1 central defender as well. So we've had to spend a lot of money on the defence to get proper quality players in. Obviously, we've needed 2 right backs, 3 central defenders, and then I might have let one of the left backs go and signed another one. And then we've also revamped a couple of other areas as well, just to try and freshen things up in the squad a little bit. So we'll go through the players that we've signed first. So starting at the very top, someone you're already familiar with, Arthur Theat. We signed him from Parma. He's our boy. He was great at Parma. He's done a very good job for us over there, so we've brought him over to do a very good job over here as well. We did spend a lot of money on him, £59 million. But we know from the offers we had in the final season of Let's Go Parma, he can be worth more than that. So I think that's a very good deal. He's worth up to £120 million at the moment, so I'm very happy to get him in. Made a couple of appearances already, scored a goal for us. I'll show you how we've done in the league in a moment as well. We then signed our next defender. I got my man finally, Merih Demiral. I wanted to sign him in the final season of Let's Go Parma. We couldn't sign him because he went to Inter Milan in the transfer window that we've just taken part in. So we've gone and got in ahead of Inter Milan, and we've brought him back to Juventus, where he played between 2019 and 2021. And again, he's been solid for us in the game he's played so far. Apologies if you just heard that. That was my phone. Yeah, he's been a very good defender for us. He is a brick wall of a defender. He's not going to be very finesse-based. He's not going to be a good player of the ball from the back. He's going to be someone who's just going to lump it or get it to someone who's a bit more creative than him. But that's what we need him for. Instead of then immediately signing a right back, I saw Sergio Malinkovic-Savic, and I thought, you know what? I've never used him on FM. I've never used him at all. So I thought, let's sign him. He's 30 years old. He's at his peak. Let's get him to the club. And we've brought him in. And again, he's made a couple of appearances for us. He's got an assist. He's been very good so far. Development's not doing very well, but that's fine. But he looks the business. And I can see why so many people love using him, because he looks very impressive to me so far. So very happy with that one. I spent £65 million on him. Most of it was up front, I will be honest. So a lot of our transfer budget did go away because of that deal. But you know what? It's absolutely fine. Wasn't upset with paying out whatsoever. By the way, the Demiral deal, £30 to £33 million. I think that's a bargain for a player of his quality. We then did part of the right back issue. We signed Nusem Mazroui. I'll be honest with you, I thought he'd be better than he is, but he's actually done alright when he's played for us so far. He did really well in pre-season. He's played one game for us in the league. He's done very well so far. Signed him in. He's a good player. He's just not quite as good as I was hoping, so that meant we needed to sign a right back over the top of him rather than him being the first choice right back. But that's fine. It's not the end of the world. But again, how much was that? 30-something? 33 million? 33 million pounds. Decent. Very decent. Probably overpaid for him, but it's fine. We then signed our final central defender. It's not someone I would have normally looked at. Pascal Struijk, who in this universe moved to Leicester. And just looking at him, he's a lot better than I imagined he would be. 3-star ability, 3-star potential, 26 years old, 39 caps for Belgium with 4 goals. He's coming as a squad player. We signed him for the grand total of £65 million. It's a lot of money for what effectively amounts to being our 4th choice central defender. But do you know what? In all seriousness, we needed a defender. He was very good. We were looking at someone else, and I can't remember who it was, but they were a worse player who would have cost more, so he just felt like the thing to do. I then mentioned left back. We did sign another left back. We decided to let Luke Shaw go. We had Luke Shaw and Kostas Tsimikas. We've kept Tsimikas, we've let Shaw go, we've brought in Cucurella, and he has joined us for the grand total of £54 million. Personally, I think he's a very good left back. We signed him in the middle of his... between Manchester City and Chelsea, which one was he going to go to in real life? We signed him in the middle of that. So his name was in my head. So when he came up on the scout report, I was like, well, it'd be rude not to. So we brought him in, 3.5-star current ability and potential, 27 years old. Only the 1 cap for Spain, which is obviously not ideal, but he's already been good for us. Again, pre-season, he was absolutely ridiculous, and he's done very well in the first couple of games of the season. We then moved on to midfield. We needed another midfielder who can play in the central midfielder on attack position. I'll show you the formation we've gone with in a minute as well. And we decided to go with Lorenzo Pellegrini. This one's purely for selfish reasons. I've used Pellegrini in FN21, and he was incredible for me. Absolutely incredible. So we brought him in. He's relatively cheap. He's not developed in the same way he did for me in FM21, but he still looked very good. And again, he's made 1 substitution appearance. He's scored a goal. He's scored 8 goals in 6 pre-season games and got 5 assists. I feel like, will play well above that star rating, well above it as a squad player, and he'll do a really good job for us. Signing for a paltry fee of £22 million. Bargain as far as I'm concerned. Our right back situation has been solved by this man as well, Wilfried Singo. One reason we signed him mainly is because if we go on his information, if we have a look at his eligibility, he is trained in Italy. That helps for squad registration. Yay. We spent an awful lot of money on him from Atletico Madrid, £78 million. But, again, 1 appearance so far, 2 assists, tore it up in pre-season. He looks like an absolute bargain. 24 years old as well, so he's got a future in this team too. He looks fantastic. We then moved on to striker. Now, we did already have at the club Vlahovic and Gabriel Jesus. We decided Gabriel Jesus was going to be a winger, but I'll get onto that in a moment. So we needed another striker, and I'm not being funny, but Kasper Dolberg, what a job he did for us last season at Parma. So I thought, let's get him in. He'll be a bargain, and he is a bargain. £20 million, highest transfer fee that's ever been paid for him. Parma made a nice tiny profit on him. I'm okay with bringing him in for that amount of money, because we know if we have anything go wrong with Vlahovic and Gabriel Jesus, we know this guy can step in and do a job for us. So I'm very, very happy to have him on board. And then we signed a goalkeeper. And we had Szczesny and, I forget the other guy's name, Nubal. I had to go and look at it. Alexander Nubal and Wojciech Szczesny were the 2 goalkeepers. To be honest with you, I wouldn't trust either of them as our starting goalkeeper, so we needed someone. So we went back to Leicester and raided them. We brought in their goalkeeper, Andre Onana. You know Andre Onana. Everyone who's played a football game knows Andre Onana. Very good goalkeeper. He's done a decent job for us so far. I think he's going to be a very good keeper for the season. We signed him for the figure of £50 million. Yet a lot of money again, but he'll do the job between the sticks. Diogo Jotter was a weird one. I don't necessarily know if at the time we needed a winger, but I decided let's get someone in who can play in any of the attacking positions, and he'll just fill in. Again, his development's not gone very well so far, but I think he's going to be great for us. In terms of non-competitive, as you can see, 5 appearances in pre-season, 8 goal contributions. That's pretty impressive. And he hasn't really made an impact on the pitch so far, but he has had a good rating, so yay, that's a good thing. £39 million for him. I think that's a bargain. Bearing in mind, that's more than either PSG or Liverpool paid for him. I think that's a ridiculous transfer fee for a player of his quality. Absolutely ridiculous. So I will take that all day long for Diogo Jota. And then our final signing, I'll admit this is looking like a weird one. Manolo Portonova. There's one reason why we signed him. because we were a little bit light in midfield. We needed someone who could play as a defensive midfielder, which admittedly he really can't, but we can shuffle things around. But we needed someone who could play in the midfield. But Champions League registration rules were going to be an issue. So, the reason why I've signed him is a very simple one. Trained in Italy, trained at Juventus. That is the only reason why we signed him. Spent a period here. It just made sense to me to bring him in. He was bought in for a while. Is it 2.5 million? Yeah, £2.5 million. Not a lot of money at all. He's going to sit in our bench. He's probably only going to play a couple of games for us, and that's if he's lucky. It is what it is. We could have put a youngster there. We've got some good youngsters who we could have put there instead, but I just thought, let's get someone with a bit more experience. So those are the transfers in, and again, they cost £518 million. Yikes. And we've only made £64 million in player sales as well. Iataren had already left before we got here. Wojciech Szczesny we let go to Roma, which is why we still have Nubel. And then obviously we've added Onana. We went for £2.5 million. Wojciech Szczesny is a good enough goalkeeper, but he's 35 years old. He's only going to start getting worse and worse and worse. His natural fitness is only 13, so he is going to start going downhill very soon. I might regret selling him, moving him on instead of Nubel, but he was on more money. You do what you have to do, right? As a Cagney, 30 years old, never played for Italy. Probably get out the door if I'm honest with you. So we let him go, and we let him go for £12.5 million. Probably could have got more for him, but just wanted to get him out the door. Kayo George as well, we let him go for £3.8 million. Never really going to amount to anything for us. He's okay, but he just wasn't going to get into the team. And he's only made one appearance for Juventus and scored 1 goal. To be fair, that's a great record, but yeah, we weren't going to use him. Luke Shaw, as I mentioned, we let him go for £15.75 million. We have got a bit of a wage contribution on him as well, but we wanted him out the door because in the nicest possible way, I prefer Tsimikas. I don't dislike Luke Shaw in this game, but I wanted to use Tsimikas because I haven't used him this year. So we moved Luke Shaw on as a result of that. He has gone. And then we moved on Matteo Perrin as well, which means if we do have an issue with both of our goalkeepers, we have to use a youth goalkeeper. I'll take that one on the chin if it happens, but moved him on for the paltry fee of £6 million. To be fair, that's more than I thought we'd get for our third choice goalkeeper. That's not too bad. We then moved on Adrian Rabiot. Again, we are paying a little bit of a wage contribution for this guy, but he was on a lot of money, so it doesn't really matter too much. Also, the thing I really love, he's gone to Leicester, who we've raided for 2 players, so we've sent Rabiot to them just to make things a little bit easier. We've sent Rabiot to them in none of the positions of the players that we signed from them, but hey-ho, they'll deal with it. I like Adrian Rabiot as a player in FM. I really do, but I didn't see where he was going to fit in. He was going to end up being at the base of the midfield, and in the nicest possible way, we would have had an issue registering all of our players if we kept him. So that's the main reason we moved him on. And also, I think playing him at the base of the midfield, I think he's a little bit wasted there. I think he's better further forward, but we would have had to play him there. So, yeah, it was the right thing to move him on. Didn't get the value for him, but we got some money in, that's the main thing. And then Duvan Zapata I was never going to use. There was just no room left in the squad for him. 34 years old as well. Might as well move him on. So we let him go for a tiny amount of money, £6.75 million. He was worth far more than that. I'm not unhappy with letting him go. All of which means the squad looks like this. Now, yeah, I'm using 3 strikers. So originally, I was going to be using this. 4-3-3, same formation we were using at Parma. And I was okay with it. I was going to go with it. We played the first few friendlies. I think we played the first friendly, actually. No, we played the first friendly with that. Oh, okay. Oh, I got it wrong. So, I've definitely changed things up. It's been a few days since I started this save, I will admit. So, yes. We're going to go with this. We started with a 4-2-3-1. I then went back down to this. And then, for some reason, I looked at the players that we've got. And bearing in mind, our front 3 is Jotter, Vlahovic, and Dybala. All 3 can play as a striker. Our backup front 3 is Gabriel Jesus, down here, Kasper Dolberg, and Federico Chiesa. All of them can play a striker. So in the end, we've gone with this. I have also got a slightly more, well, a very more offensive version like that. We've ended up going with this, and it actually has worked really well in the rest of pre-season and also in the first couple of games in the league. These guys act as kind of as half wingers. They will drift out wide, but they also cause problems here. And they create enough space for Fabian and Malinkovic just to burst forward and cause all kinds of problems. Cucurella, Mazrui, or Singo provide tremendous width, and they do a great job. And Locatelli drifts a bit further forward than I would really like him to. So at some point, I am debating maybe turning him into a halfback, although I think it will waste his deep line playmaker ability. But if we do that, he'll stay around here and provide more cover for the defence. But the defence so far has done really well. I think we've only conceded, if I'm right, 1 goal in the league so far. We haven't. It was in a 5-1 drubbing of Cremonese. We smashed Napoli 4-0 on the opening day of the season as well. I mean, look at the pre-season. It's been absolutely fantastic. 17-0, 11-0, 16-0, 12-0. We've beaten teams like Ajax, Atalanta. We even beat Brighton from the Premier League. We've done a good job. We've done a really good job in pre-season, and those first couple of those first couple of games have been really, really good for us. So I think this squad going forward is going to do the job for us. Obviously, we've got an injury there to Gabriel Jesus to begin with, but we've even got a few good youngsters who are 3.5-star potential, 1-star, 1.5-star current ability. So if we need to use them, it isn't the end of the world. They will be able to do somewhat of a job for us. So what's going to happen now is I am going to accelerate forward to the halfway point of the season. 19 games played in Serie A, and we'll see where we are both in this competition and in the Champions League. Champions League group, by the way, is that there. Liverpool, Juventus, Olympiacos, Besiktas. I think that's a very easy to qualify from group. We might not be first, but we'll definitely get through it if we play to our ability. Olympiacos and Besiktas have no right getting through this group. We could probably find a way to balls it up, but I feel like we have got every chance to get through that. So, I am going to accelerate forward. I'll be back when we've played 19 games, and we'll see just how we're doing. Remember, the task is to win Serie A in the first and only season of this save. We're trying to do what we took 5 years to do at Parma. Admittedly, Parma started in Serie B, but still. Took us 5 years to get to the title. Let's see if we can do this in 1 year. So, give me a moment, and I'll be back at the halfway point of the season. Halfway point reached in the league season, and as you can see, Juventus, top of the table. The plan is going to plan so far, and in the process, we are looking like a very good football team. 17 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. A goal difference of plus 36. If you have a look at the breakdown to that, we've scored 49, conceded 13. So, not the best defensive record. AC Milan currently holding that still. So, their defence is lean and mean. But again, like we did with Parma, battering them in terms of goals for, absolutely superb, and we are looking like the absolute business. Dusan Vlahovic only with the 14 goals compared to Ciro Immobile's 18. No Sebastiano Esposito to be seen at the top of that list. Best player in the league at the moment, Paulo Dybala. Of course, in this universe, he hadn't actually left at the end of the season, so he stayed with Juventus in this world. So we've still got him. He's 31 years old, I think. 32, sorry. He's had a birthday. Many happy returns, Paulo. Best player in the league, most assists in the league, looking like an absolute beast. Player of the matches as well, all superb. It's all looking very, very good. One thing that isn't looking good is some of the dynamics. We've got a few unhappy players at the club. Remember, I have simulated, so I've not been in charge of this, but Borno, Nubal, one of the young players, Thiat a couple of times, Mazrui, Dolberg, and Portonova, the lad we signed just for squad registration purposes, all unhappy. Arthur Thiat, very unhappy, playing in a weak role, wanted to start more games. I'm really unhappy about that one because he's someone I would have started virtually every game because he's an absolute monster, or at least he was for us at Parma. So he's not going to have had many appearances at all, is he? If we have a look down the list, oh my, 7 appearances, only 4 of them starts. Oh my, and Mazrui as well, very similar, although we did sign him to be a backup, but Arthur Thiat, that surprises me. So who's the starting defensive partnership? It's Struijk and Demiral. That surprises me. I thought Borno would have been one of the starters, but he's only made 9 appearances. Woo, okay. Well, let's have a look at the unhappy players. So we've got a bunch who are alienated. All of these lads here. Mazrui, Borno, Nubal, Thiat. I mean, 3 of those I would have said would have been starters. By the way, if you can hear an ice cream van in the background, I do apologise. It is making me want an ice cream, but I'm going to continue the video anyway. I am very surprised that all of those players are so unhappy. We've also got 3 who are concerned. Jesus and Dolberg as well. Jesus has only started 3 games. Again, I would have had him as a now non-starter. So I'm starting Dybala mainly, along with Diogo Jotter, and they're supporting Dusan Vlahovic. To be honest with you, I'm not unhappy with that. Not in the slightest. Fabian as well is a bit of a surprising one. Only 4 starts and 10 substitute appearances. So it looks like that's the position that's had the rotation in more than anything, because these guys have both played over 20 games. So Fabian must be coming out. Weston McKennie and Lorenzo Pellegrini must be coming into that role. That's really interesting. It's interesting to see how the assistant manager has played the team, but it's working because they're top of the table. So whatever he's doing is working. Speaking of working, Champions League. We are through from our group. As you can see, we have Chelsea in the next round. So whether we'll get any further than that, I don't know. If I'm honest with you, I'm not too sure. If we go back and have a look at the group stage, I can't remember which group we were in, actually. Liverpool finished top. We finished second. It looks like we each had a loss, and I'm going to guarantee we lost against each other. We did, actually. So, yeah, very level with Liverpool in this group. And Besiktas is the one getting through to the Europa League. Level on points with Olympiacos, though. So, very unlucky Olympiacos to miss out on Europa League football. But we do go through, and we have that game against Chelsea. But that table is looking healthy as anything. I'm very happy with that. In terms of appearances, the most appearances is Vlahovic. 20 goals in all competitions, 4 assists. Chiesa has got 14 goals, 4 assists as well. In terms of assists, it's Dybala, we already know that. Singo from right back doing a great job as well. Malinkovic, Savic, Vlahovic, Chiesa, all doing well. A bunch of players on 2 as well. XG, I mean, it's Vlahovic leading it, and we've got a lot of players who are doing really well on it as well. In terms of clean sheets, Onana has been our starting goalkeeper, has had an injury from the looks of things, and Nubal has had to deputise for a few games. 11 clean sheets in 20, pretty good return. 3 in 5, that's an excellent return for those 5 games. Absolutely excellent. So, I don't know what else to say, really. I'm very impressed so far. Right, we're going to go to the end of the season. We're going to simulate forward to the last day of the season, and we'll see whether we can win a league title with Juventus. Hopefully we can, otherwise I'm going to look a little bit silly. Wouldn't be the first time. I'll see you in a moment when we're at the end of the season. Well, I think we could chalk that up as a bit of a success. 38 games played, season done, Juventus champions. Get in, boys. Also, interestingly, Parma finishing 5th, so they've gone backwards under, I think it's Filippo Inzaghi, I think he's the manager. But we have won the league, 30 wins, 5 draws, 3 defeats, a plus goal difference of 63. That's fairly impressive, I would say. And, I mean, look at the player stats screen. Vlahovic with 37 goals in the season. That's nearly a goal a game. I mean, we don't know how many games he played. It might be over a goal a game. Who knows? But beating out Martinez and Immobile, no sign of Esposito on there. And I think he scored 31 goals in our season when we did our normal season 5 of this. So it'll be interesting to see how many goals he's got. But Vlahovic wrecking shop in the league. Top player in the league as well, with Dybala and Singo just behind him. Paulo Dybala, by the way, 23 assists. 23? Singo actually on there, joint second with 12 as well, doing a very good job. Both Dybala and Vlahovic with 9 and 8 player of the match awards respectively, as you would expect. Clean sheets, there's no Onana there. He is 4th actually, so that's okay. Dragowski there in 8th. 12, that's respectable. Good to see him doing well, but that is sensational. We have done a very good job there. Winning the title by 4 points, I think that is a job well done. Of course, it's interesting because I think points total-wise, it's very similar to what we got as Parma, but we were so much further than AC Milan, so it's been a real fight in this season, obviously, looking at this. It's been a real fight, but we have won the title for the first time in a couple of years. It's not been that long, actually. But it's been the first time in a couple of years. Juventus are now champions. And again, reminding ourselves of the squad that did it, here it is. In terms of the most appearances, as you'd expect, is Vlahovic, who's actually in all competitions scored 44 and 47 with 1 substitution appearances, 46 starts. Got 8 assists as well, which is pretty incredible. How many league starts did he have? 37. So he scored a goal a game, and he got 7 assists as well. What a player. What an absolute superstar. I've never really used him in FM. Have to say, very happy with what I've ended up with. Locatelli then had the next most appearances. He's done a good job this season. I mean, I say he's done a good job. Rating's not the best, just under a 7. 2 goals, 4 assists. Only 2 player of the match awards, but I imagine he's been a solid base at the midfield. Cucurella, the left back we brought in as well, did a very good job. Obviously signed for Chelsea in real life. Dybala, the man himself, doing an absolutely superb job. 36 appearances, 5 goals, 23 assists. Utterly insane. 28 goal contributions in total. 9 player of the match awards. Matching what he had last season, but look at his output compared to last season. I mean, adding it all up, it's not too far away, but the assists is just insane. Absolutely insane. He looks absolutely superb still for 32 years old. Very happy with him. Demiral, we obviously brought back to the club. He actually left the club in the year 2021 for Atalanta. So we brought him back for £30 million, and He's been superb for us. 33 appearances in the league. He scored 4 goals. He's a beast. Absolute beast. Sergio Malinkovic-Savic did okay. Wasn't spectacular. I thought he'd get more goals and assists than that. But you know what? He's done a good job. But Singo has been sensational. Never really paid any attention to Wilfried Singo before. But I'm going to pay attention going forward. The Ivorian has been superb for us. Absolutely superb. Chiesa having a great season. 19 goals, 9 assists in 39 starts. 1 substitution appearances. Struijk looks like he's been the defensive partner of Demiral. And looks like he's done a sensational job as well. Diogo Jotter, speaking of sensational, 16 goals, 5 assists in 33 starts, 11 substitution appearances. He has been fantastic. Gabriel Jesus has been terrible. Look at that. I mean, he's played 18 starts and 17 substitution appearances, 6 goal contributions, 3 of each. That's shocking. I mean, that's the worst one. Everyone else, I can get behind. Everyone else has done a job. Gabriel Jesus, get in the bin. Speaking of getting in the bin, still very disappointed with Arthur Thea. Only 10 appearances, 6 of them as starts, 4 as subs. Feels alienated, wants to leave. I would have played him week in, week out. I'm staggered that that didn't happen. Up to £68 million. Wonder if Parma wants to try and buy him back. Maybe they do. Not too sure. Also, Fabian, very few starts. Only the 4, 20 substitution appearances. I can't believe he is not as any unhappier than he actually is, to be honest with you. I thought he'd be very, very unhappy. But apparently, he's still relatively happy. Mazrui is not happy as well, which you cannot blame the man. Same with Borna, same with Nubel. None of them got the starts they wanted. Right. I don't actually know how we've done in any of the other competitions. So for all I know, we're in a Champions League final. I know that we're not because there's no fixture selected at the top. So I wonder how far we got in that. And also the Coppa Italia. So without any further ado. Ooh. Okay. That first knockout round against Chelsea didn't go very well. Then we obviously got beat by them. Oh my word. We got a bit battered, didn't we? We lost 4-1 on aggregate. That is not ideal. Is there a way to see the tie-in total? Is this just going to take us to on the night? It's the second night, so this is where they beat us 1-0. So we must have lost. So we lost 3-1 in the first leg. Oh, Juve. Oh, so we got a bit battered there. I thought we'd do well in the Champions League. Sure as well I know. Coppa Italia, we got knocked out by Udinese. Let's have a look and see how bad that was. Parma actually getting through to the. Oh no, these are the finals. That's the wrong things to do. You're looking at this. Right, semi-final. Did we get through to the semi-final? No. Parma did, though, but they got knocked out. So, unlucky on them. We got through to the quarterfinals, and it was on penalties we lost against Udinese. That is unfortunate. Quick look at the finances. They're not ideal. I won't be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be completely honest. They're not ideal at all. The balance is looking like it's going down. But keep winning the league. Do well in Champions League. Sell a key player or two. Will be absolutely fine. The sale of Thea to maybe Borno and bringing in a couple of cheaper defenders probably would solve that. So, honestly, not too worried about that. Also, no longer our problem if I'm being completely honest with you. But that is it. We are Serie A champions in the one season, in the first attempt with Juventus, and that is pretty impressive. It's also necessary because of the amount of money we spent. We did spend over £500 million. You'd like to think we'd have some return on that fairly quickly, and we have. So, very happy with that. Very impressed with that. Lads did a good job. Very impressed indeed. But that is going to be it for this series, this episode, because it's only going to be the one episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's the first ever type of proper rebuild I've done. Obviously, I did one and done with not with Juventus. This is Juventus with Paris Saint-Germain. I did one and done with them, but that was me playing through the season off camera. Whereas this has been me just doing the transfers, letting the team go, just simulating the season. It was hard to do that. I've never really done that before, but it's interesting to see how the team can do without you, and they've done really well. So, on the back of this, I think we're going to do a couple more rebuilds because I have enjoyed it. So, the next team that we're going to do, it's an obvious one. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but if you think of big football clubs in Europe that are in dire need of a rebuild because of a few, maybe 10-ish years of stagnation because of issues with owners and failing to replace a legendary manager. I don't know who I'm talking about, but maybe, just maybe, we'll do a rebuild on that club, and there's a couple of other ones we'll do as well, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do after that at some point. But until that next video, let's just wrap this up, shall we? Because I think we've done a very good job indeed. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, once again, please do leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any lovely FM awesomeness. I've been Stubo. You guys have been awesome as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.